Hey, this is William with attackofthefanboy.com, and Kyle, this is Tomb Raider. Wait, no, Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Rise of the Tomb Raider. It is the new Tomb Raider game.
That is a sequel to the reboot, but it's called Rise of the Tomb Raider when the first one was really the origin story.
Interesting naming selection.
Yes.
Nonetheless, it is a sequel. Neither one of us are reviewing this game. This is a unique situation we're in.
Who is reviewing?
Dean will have a review up for this at Embargo next week. But the preview embargo went up, and we have the game, so we decided to do a video for it. And so this is just basically going to be our general conversation about Rise of the Tomb Raider, just because you played it at least a little bit at E3.
I had a walkthrough with the dev. They played it in front of me.
Oh, that's always fun.
Yeah. That actually, I mean, as much as I'd enjoy playing the game, getting the dev there to actually like walk you through everything is a little bit better.
While you had a controller?
No, they played.
Yeah, that sucks. I always hate it. I mean, it's great because you get real great inside information and about the game. But I like to play.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is me playing. I have played Rise of the Tomb Raider, the full version. This is the Soviet installation. It's pretty early on in the game. As you can see, there's a lot of familiar mechanics between Rise of the Tomb Raider and the very good reboot that came out, a couple years ago.
Yeah, they don't seem to be reinventing the formula. I mean, they nailed it last time. So
they did nail it. I reviewed that both the original and the definitive edition, and I gave them high scores. I thought they were really good. I think they're Uncharted. I really do. I think Tomb Raider's really good.
I can see that.
I like all the stuff they do in these games. The climbing, the combat's fun. I really do like the climbing, and it's kind of a brutal game. This one's a little less brutal than the last one.
Is it? It's already pretty brutal.
I mean, shooting arrows in people's faces, that's pretty damn brutal. But remember how the old game, like, she'd slide down into, like, spikes and they'd go through her face and stuff? I mean, I haven't seen anything like that. I really haven't played the game that much. I just played a little bit to get this gameplay captured so we could talk about it. But I mean, you can see, a lot of the bow and arrow mechanics are kind of familiar to the last one. A lot of the stealth stuff is still the same. But I think that stuff wasn't broken in I have to shoot this guy in the face. Because he's already down. He's writhing in pain, grabbing his eyes. I had to put him out of his misery. Yeah. Anyway, I think the stuff that they've really changed with this one is just like kind of refining what they had going the first time around, which was a lot of people were asking for like more tombs and more exploration. And as you'll see in the video here in just a sec when I get out to it, there were big areas, open areas in Tomb Raider. Mm-hmm. This one's got a lot of that as well. So they also added tombs. Yeah, they had the tombs, and they had tombs in the old one. There just weren't that many of them. Yeah. They were pretty hidden away, right? They were kind of. I played a few hours of the first one. I don't think I finished it. This is a beautiful game on Xbox One. It really is, especially knowing that it's an Xbox One game. No offense to the Xbox One, but I thought that when I saw it at E3, like, this looks really good. Oh, it looks unbelievable. Some of the footage that I couldn't show, that stuff that they showed at the E3 press conference where she's climbing on the side of the mountain in the snow and jumping and doing all that stuff, that looks amazing on these consoles, or on this console. This is an exclusive. So, I'm getting out into the open section here. You can see in this one is just humongous, and it's full of like cave systems and tombs, and it literally goes all the way up the side of this mountain, and it's quite large. I'm skipping around in the gameplay here. But like in these little areas, these hub areas within this, I guess, level for the game, the Soviet installation, you can still do all the crafting. There's multiple bonfires. You can go hunt animals, take on side quests. You can explore caves like this one here, where some of them have animals inside, some of them have treasures inside. It's really, I found in my playthrough of this level that there was a lot of variation. There seems like there's going to be more for players to do this time around, alongside all the action stuff that they got right last time around.
Like, can you go into those a little bit? What systems you're talking about specifically?
As far as the action goes,
or is it just the extra stuff, the caves and stuff, or are there actual gameplay elements that they've added?
You know what? To be honest with you, it feels a lot like the previous game, just with a little bit more in it. Like I said, I haven't played this game all that much. There's probably maybe one chapter ahead of this. This is really early on in the game, and it's kind of, you're still even learning, your basic core mechanics. But a lot of the stuff comes back, like the rope that you shoot that attaches a line and allows you to shimmy across, modifications to weapons, skill tree stuff. All that stuff was in the original game too, and I think they did it pretty well with that. And using the bonfire system to travel back and forth. It's all, a lot of the stuff that they used in the first game that worked, they just kind of brought that stuff back. And I don't know that they needed to change all that much. I mean, there's a pretty deep crafting system in it where you craft arrows, bow and arrows, and you craft like health kits. Now this is the entryway to one of the tombs. So, as I was actually playing this game, I was kind of, as a first-time player, just exploring and looking, and I came across that hole in the ground. I'm like, okay, what's this? There's got to be something down there. Climb down there. Lo and behold, it starts, turning out to a tomb.
The lighting and water effects are crazy.
It's an unbelievably good looking game, but I don't think this game, the last one, looked bad either. The definitive edition looked really good. I thought. Yeah. And this game does look good. There's no doubt about that. This is just like the entryway into the tomb. We're not allowed to show the actual puzzles, so this is just going to be a tease. Yep. But it was. I did solve it, and it was fun. I mean, if there are more puzzles kind of like that in the game as it goes on, I think people who like the original game are going to love that, because it just adds another layer, and it gives you that feeling of the old Tomb Raider games, where that's the kind of stuff that you were doing.
I like the weather effects especially, and I know just from seeing some of the videos that there's going to be other places than just the snow. Is this, so far, the only area that you've really explored is the snow area?
No, I mean, there were actually a couple different environments. There was like a desert.
Yep.
Obviously, there's like indoor areas, but I didn't see any other real weather effects like that one, where you have the snow.
Is it a real-time day-night cycle, or is this like a different level?
There's like a cutscene that we're not allowed to talk about as to why the night would have changed. There's definitely, I don't know if there's a day-night cycle. I really don't.
It's good to see that Laura is still okay with, just going in and murdering people, though.
This is where it gets pretty brutal.
Yeah.
She gets pretty crazy in this section, because it gets kind of hectic as far as the combat goes. And that's, that's the cool thing about this game, I thought, was, you know, the ability to tackle things in different ways. I certainly could have just shot those two guys with arrows, but, you know, take the stealthier approach. Maybe in a couple of minutes I won't be able to take the stealthy approach much longer, and we'll have to pull out the guns, but that's the fun thing about this game, is there are numerous ways to tackle stuff, which kind of make it a nice blend between stealth and action. At least I thought so. So far. And if it holds up like, you know, the original or the last one did, you know, it should kind of play out like that throughout the entire game, which is fun in my book. Last game threw a ton of different enemy types at you, had you learning how to handle them, and I thought that was fun with the upgrade paths for your weapons, and it all seemed to gel pretty well.
Yeah, definitely.
Jacob.
And yeah, I don't think a lot of people were looking. This sequel just needed to refine. I mean, if it went overboard and really changed a whole lot of stuff, that last one was kind of I don't even know, like lightning in a bottle. They just randomly pulled that out, and it worked so well for the franchise. I couldn't imagine them trying to reinvent everything this time around. So it's nice to see that they just kind of took the I don't want to say safe approach, but the safe approach, and refined everything and made everything just a little bit better, which is really what I think fans wanted.
Well, yeah, they listened to what fans said they wanted more of, and gave it to them pretty much, with the, you know, the more exploration, more open worldy. I mean, a lot of people like the elements of being able to explore, being able to hunt animals, being able to craft and do all that stuff within this action sort of gameplay experience, which, you know, I totally agree with. Adding more stuff like that on top of this, you know, it takes away a lot of the linearity of, you know, just running through those levels. You're free to explore, find collectibles, 100% stuff, do some crafting. I think that stuff just adds to any game, really, you know. You know, I don't know if it's artificially inflating, like maybe this is an 8 to 10 hour game. I couldn't tell you, but, you know, when you start doing that stuff, exploring in the world, doing the crafting, it can definitely take you a little bit longer. That's for sure.
Yep.
Gives you more bang for your buck. I mean, they put in a pretty worthless multiplayer last time around.
Did they remove that?
I believe they have removed that. I don't know. I didn't see it on there. I didn't look for it, because I don't care about that. But
I don't know that many people do.
But yeah, I mean, they're not going to need to start reiterating Kyle for the next couple of games, right?
Yeah.
Then people will start calling for, why do we keep getting the same thing over and over? We need some change ups. But we'll see. I think, you know, it's going to be at least, another year before this actually comes out to everybody else. I'm not sure how long the exclusivity period was for this.
It's a year, yeah. It's going to hit, so it'll hit Xbox One November 15th.
That's a damn shame.
And then, PS4 and PC will have to wait until next November.
Wow. But
Yeah.
it is coming out in a very, very busy window. I'm curious to see, you know, they're competing with the likes of Call of Duty, Fallout 4, what else?
Oh yeah, it does. It comes
Need
out
for
the 10th,
Speed.
the same day as Fallout 4.
That's insane.
Yeah.
But, you know, the last one was a good game. It probably got a lot of new fans. I'm guessing they'll come back out for this one. I mean, I certainly am excited.
It seems like a game that a lot of people will buy and then play later. Yeah, I think that they're going to want this game to retain its value. They're going to try and keep the hype going for a year on this game.
How?
Whether they'll do that or not, I don't know, but they'll almost need to. Otherwise, by next year, people might have forgotten.
I don't know. I don't know if I look at Tomb Raider as a system seller for Xbox right now.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering that when they announced the exclusivity. I think it's definitely a big get, but a system seller, I don't know. Especially once it was kind of surprising that they announced that it was time, because there was so much doubt about that. They're like, oh, it's exclusive this holiday season, and people kind of didn't know what that meant, and then they finally clarified, and then now everyone who might have bought an Xbox One for it probably just wait.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell, because even when Tomb Raider Definitive Edition came out, there were some pretty good comparisons out there that showed the PS4 had the better version of the game, which is why a lot of people were like, what the hell? You know, when they announced this exclusivity.
Yeah. It's been an interesting turn of events. I mean, at least it did turn out well. It like we've said multiple times, it looks great. So I don't think the Xbox hurting it, but will it look better on PC and PS4? Maybe.
Will it look better? It will definitely look better on PC. There's no doubt about it.
PS4, I don't. But, yep. I'm pretty excited about it. It's hitting at the wrong time for me. I've got way too many games I'll be playing at the time this comes out. But I still want to get it at some point. It might hit that time period where I just decide to wait, but we'll see. It looks good.
Yeah, it definitely looks good. I think if there's one takeaway we can get from our short little test with the game, it's that it's certainly not being held back by the Xbox One. And there've been some, new additions to Tomb Raider in terms of adding back in more tombs to the game, more stuff to find, more stuff to collect, broadening the scope of some of these levels, and kind of sticking to that formula that they created a couple years ago. But we'll have a full review score and written review up on our site, attackofthefanboy.com. You can check out that review next week. For Kyle, I'm William, and that was Rise of the Tomb Raider.